Abusianfo neti for higher for 1GH and I know first time I ban so I need no book coin so no I didn't know subscribe mine say me news be no shibia obenya notification phone so be share so e ma fi so be share ma dan so enye beti for me kan sam so tin yelim koka ekoso e parliament chesenya asem gitwa amate speaker ne buo for indefinite suspension at a parliament e beka minority for as we speak right now na at force and as MPP amanyuko no as omo the omere call for a speaker so won't be a parliament na omekansem because they say no majority and a minority in sense na dey cause akopim supreme court and that they say now as we speak right now no Mahama edeni na no too much say why dey we defend speaker bamba bi egwes a MPP amanyuko na ni mass party say enya asem keto because I say you crisis mu parliament or crisis mo niema Ghana fu hia krampo no nya mo moto na mo kanse mu no sabi ante se beka embia manyuko no okasa sa asem na chomo egu ma ni maze party senya asem to as government we woma MPP amanyuko government no ade a so mo de Ghana fu akonyi nim omode Ghana fu akọ oye omu osumo ade amanfo bi ekwa eto esem ni ade because guys say ye beka health work cost him say the idea that say health work and a violent work so ye then bia in case MP amanyuko ne nam ha and this amanyuko nam ha ni jena nke den e deba bishia yes na go for ye beka dey see o mama obi no nipa o treat to up to as we speak right now no ye nyanchi nipa ko ne nyan tuma te say o mo krokrase no adwene ho a wonte ase kokko fancy me braba te say enya asem gutwa kamne nkotense mi akwa min kana betudwa ye ba ne de nkomo ntwe no ato aso
adwuma ho aye den emema da ne ma ahotina wo man ni mu and that is a crisis a confront wo man and we abira crisis we wo hono abai na yi na nya to free as a kufu ado de na adwuma no wode ba na wie ye nya no tie me your president in writing we have a president but in operation no say one nya adwuma no ye wunu hwe o because look every bra ye adwesi ye beto abade pa ade afoforo pa na kufu ado aye a ubetimi dia bona ba so se wa ya de akufu ado ne baomia jai na adwuma to as vice president we jai adwuma na to and one nam no ye campaign me wa abosumi so bia ye twa no ka se wa ye dey adwuma ba na baomia ye as vice president head of the economic management team we jai say adwuma na to and one nam no ye campaign and we say go for omo and ye fa tumi ncho omo nsa etitie president Mahama wa bra no ka say crisis a ye wo mi economic crisis you know
our economy is in crisis. That one I don't need to tell you. And when you see your size of kenke shrinking, you know that there's crisis. Or if you see the price of kenke going up, you know that we're in a crisis. And so I don't need to tell you about the economy. Our governance is in crisis. Recently, you saw what happened in Parliament. We almost had a constitutional crisis. But for the matured handling of the Speaker in suspending the House, there could have been a clash between the judiciary and our parliament. And so our governance is in crisis. We need to reset, we need to restart, we need to look at our constitution again, we need to revise it and plug the loopholes and make it clearer so that in future we don't have the kinds of issues that we have. Our attitudes are in crisis. Patriotism is at the lowest ebb in this country. Nobody thinks about this country first. We think about ourselves first, then we think about our family second, we think about our ethnic group third. The country comes like fourth, fifth or sixth or seventh or even 10th to some people. And so we need a reset of our attitudes, we need a renewal of our attitudes to see that our country must come first. We must have a patriotic feeling towards our country. And it's only when we have that we all will benefit from the collective good of having a country.
Emancipate yourself from mental slavery. Emancipate. Renewal of the mind. Renewal of ourselves. Omaina ajin semu asai. Yada form se brim. Bibi anyway ye adwuma wo mamu ha. Yade suansem potol. And then for the first time, when my Ghana bakwasem, ye may you BC, what we could generate resource, near baby pini tira say ya say pending what resource they pending enya mai and I'm kwaso ba how did we get here akwada want to aso poti ebe makwan wonim da poti ebe bie school ebe ade ma president Akufo-Addo e ma ne be gina simpie so ade that the dance ndwefo ase President Akufo-Addo a wone His Excellency Jerry John Rawlings etwa so in the 90s ebra wa wini aba no oda Rawlings ase da bi de mechire nienti a oda Rawlings ase da bi na mechire mu but President Mahama James wo James wo abra na chita afo ani abre say men James wo James Ademano and wo James no so ebra wo ye in the last state of the nation's address what you say we need say video na kohwehwe da ko mesa abot e dia chamo ne tie ne nsem say de osi kan ye say wo jai dia ma ban no a wo san kan insurancem e de to aban na eba no abra botso hallmark of a statesman etiana say President Mahama e be gina ani catch say look and what can say we yendi o sai kire ye wo say won omunya bibi abetoto man Ghana ya swundwe ya say ye tie say de osi kan asem.
Envy of many countries is fragile, and like an egg, once it is cracked, it cannot be put together again without the scars showing. Recent events that have taken place of unprovoked violence are deeply troubling. We've also witnessed attacks and various forms of violence visited on young people peacefully embarking on health walks or expressing their opinions. We must never again unleash fatal violence on our people at polling stations, peacefully expressing their democratic rights to choose their leaders. We must all commit not to be the first to throw the stone. The peace and tranquility of our country means more to me than anything else. We must also commit not to allow impunity to fester in this context. And I would like to call on the religious community in particular and all groups, including the Peace Council in the regions and at the national level, working for peace and non-violence, to speak out when the threat of violence occurs, especially before elections, when the rules of fair elections appear to be breached. In Proverbs 31 verse 8, it urges us, and I quote, to speak up for those who cannot speak for themselves, to ensure justice for those who are being crushed.
So Bible say, speak up for those who cannot speak for themselves. It is so for nomine a diff as a kasoka Muslim Kanyami adweno. Womo munia no our man nrube enu dwomno. Mo ayama said yes mo bekasa mo. Titirum rantie ya no mo na mo ba bia no mo tu mo motorbike so. Wabra na MPP for so ko mo baby wo mo dani o machi na mrantie kakria bi na ti motorbike so then all of a sudden unprovoked attack omo attack omo yi tuo tutu bo omo every bra asem ni see no what is a peace council for and as a Ghana ba and as a empedifo ya omo anu du akire aba abonte abekasa ho obi ankasai obi anu dum apostle for so ya de sika to ani akona ya hwehwe di tiri so besi ne sani akona yenche no me kasa fa de si new tower na mama obi de si wo mama obi no NDC for nanti omo ba bi omo titu omo moto so kuma bi o edom no so kuma bi na MPP for bebre NDC for kakra and MPP for bebre NDC for kakra bi na omo na omo ba bi. Then all of a sudden, what Danny was saying, Timoto so. Now, if you confront them verbally, then you are verbally abusing them. Now, what free verbal abuse? Now, I pause for a free bra. I say, Bessie, ne. Yes, ye Sikato. A man for ya identify one. No more crave to an so. Ya the Sikato, Mutri so. Ya show mo. Bessie ne yanchi omo. Bessie ne. Baby uncle for you yanchi omo. So san no we san na President Mahama say esia mo amanu duru dwom no mo pia bonte na mo bekasa. Patapasem ya abato komisa wadani wadi yi Kenya ndisi adawroma aka yede printing of ballot papers ebekwa akoma campaign jinjan bi campaign bia woni ahoden campaign bia woni experience akanya ndisi da fi nani edi no matia aka ye jam edi amasa campaign we no wa de akoma ni nua bi wo baabi no metwa de agum na sade ne ba na ye to aba na confusion ba kwase ne se na hu kosam easy ntimi anya due diligence easy ntimi wurawura nsemu ahwehwe nkofo yachi NDC de hwehwe mu eno mo de abeto dwa eti se NDC ba abonten ebeka cho se abato nwoma no mfomso bi wom wose ye nsakraya nyagide wo mubu. And that is why all interest groups wose mu nyina mo ba abonten na mo bekasa na mo nyai ma NDC nko na mo party nkuma ne de misuma mo da mo sa party nkuma no nya atwom no mo nyai braso se mo de nya atwom no beto nchen ba bia oman na duru no se ya ma yani ambre amfa no kure anantia da ko nyame bufu show ebeba mo mu bi so because edani duru anyame beka se mo tira ho ma mo ma ono agasa ne ma no ye de yakasam asisie ene patapa edi ho mawu mese nyame ntira ho e ma sa asisie ene patapa yi ma ye so braso se mo ba sore na mo de no kure anante edi dwuma so eno na John Mahama eka no wosa kosi asem wo esudua ebra wo wura Anglican Church wo na wo se sabre krampa ye wo mi crisis was Kesi pa do my Ghana so eye economic crisis awon kire wo man mu ye towa ye nto ye pama ye nsi tie ye embeto ye de ensa se ye botoma ye boto ne mu aboni tokuro ye ensa si fom ye ensa nkasika ade achi ade se nyina no mabo kwa na ekosoro
enim se audio ni ba be query na save video ni ba be query no enim se eye kwan minka de asemi to dwa che se na he ade a che se emore mi pa enim se obi e kwana probo obi ne company ade so e den na MPP stronghold da na parko a o dwenenum kika ne ope kika nsemu no eche Ghana for no upon all the crisis e kom nyina no okika ne ope e de che Ghana for eno no kushia na se fo bi eche so enim se nko bebu nka mo so e bi dwan track se da chomo che se beka na se fo no e ka che na pose omo mpeneni mahwe na omo pese omo hu eye mahama no betmetu omo eye ye beka omo alawa omo because sala when wan se me ko France me be ba ya kwa ketu aje se o ba we read e ne nurse aje se eye ba omo akushi omo no obusa na question is na all fambo no for Kesi ni na ye esa fisi online aje se ye beka is akwa na ko keka sanse ko bisa na eye ba omo yan se me kese no ya ko bono ni ade no eno na nasi for so mo pe ye beka Mahama ni mahwe no mo pe eye ono na ni mahwe na ne kasem no kan say Ghana asay because first just se ko hwe nuane a eye mo fani dia u kwa hu a wase befem as compared to say akra no feed ani papa o dia wa ha ma wakra na da ne eye bo eye day student o ma nye border da em found lorry for bit obamana day student. As you speak right now, no nuane omudi no yesi enye balanced diet. Okogo bekra omudi krampo no yesi obeko no na gari ni swa obeko na eye beans na edadem enso bebre as eye de koma eye mmoa bi eno na kwa minka ba bontin chichim no ka se munim ne goso ana madwen se bia moma na ewie mu bi si na ade bi si compromise dot baby mu de depending na with held near ade Ghana ekusi sen na afedie baby aba bedruni kamni ngoti eye kwa minka ba ni de komo jana to aso
Emmanuel Usudo emi junior ebra ne ye okumaka sabre no na ye ni mbra ye baba kwan ye ni mbra ye beko midterm ye ba bia school na school no ne ye wo plantation enum na ne ye nya eti enum na ne ye nya ngo ne ye de ye abenkwan ma ye enwo no bi ye yokogarega gobe ede ma ye. Those were the times. Ana sikano ewo school bells and nsem eti school bells ano ena boam ye nya nuane ede ma mofra no e won to aso school mo And any school bells and in some. Yes, I buy a share ye be a dear coffee, ye phobia, near 2 DB. National one when you stock. Yes, woman a head. Oh, your causes a party for near the mato position be near the brebi at 2 ding. Yes, woman a ham, Korani Miane so, Koran Mian Tibia and Korana any an Tibia war and to a so sukumo. Wow, backward secondary school. Bedian Mian in Tibia and Tibia and Korad womb, a Bomunian in Semua. Be Piagin Samu. And you see, as someone up present, Mahama and Kafasa, as I say, on mine and that, and go for the Brakumaso. He is right. Because I'm pennyphoning ye be beer, a babwa, not saying crying. I'm yen yejidia wa manimu, or beer paso free manimu. Bebois, call US Embassy, call a year British High Commission. What your embassies are what do a war and cry. The question Ghana for the doa, or Mato Santre. What your Sameboa would be my and cry. Consorium, baby, I pray for me, no. No could see a man from Baye. What a year that Sadaria was so Tawaso, Nitio Mumpaye, ready be a Quamamio, Radim Passam Quamanio, Radim Passam Canada, and now my soft will be making a baby. No son comes there, one way, you know, be a Canada, but Janko for the Dua Munisika, and Baba to all Tanoso. It should tell you something. And Canino never be prepared, but level a yedri, a binsi wagana da. Level a yedri. Because of a hutre, because of a tete, because of a memoir ancient crime. A memoir and found to Swobiama. And no money I want. And when you're vice president, I was why you didn't know where you one in them also pay to me. Who was said to me in what they had because Sabre import to me and some one year be beer, what better win Egina so the actual man say, where am I yanky? Montua Bamame, one ni be at the tre. Nano and Napoko, a year pantai, nursing training college war, a dear nurse for the catcher. Almost Omopa Mahama, Omopa Malawa, Yepa Mahama, Yepa Yalawa. And only as some of catcher Doctor Matopoku Prampe. Opoku Prampe, you are Baimu. Nano Baumia Batina Ebegina Simpieso, extra Ghana for you now, somewhere in August 11, 2019. For infographic in Otoso. Was a Ghana for you now, says Saudi Arabia, Heneno. Was Shabaso Babesi Medical University. And a feso, and to Suku, Maku, and Dianaimienu, our northern region. I don't know the motivation. Minute no the casa same way. But what's a way in 2019? I feel better woman 2024. How many years in here? 80 way. And what did you so open to me? But I say boy, oh, Asama, what they are to Saudi Arabia in so. I say we met with the Tower, I better Ghana and Saudi Arabia as well. Because Bibia there the perfect after how many years? Bibia there the professor, the Baumia Bacano, and Yano Cray, and Yatro. Say Yano Crat, Babia, 42 senior high schools in the war. Show me, we want to see. Say Yano Crat, Babia, Medical University in the war. Chabe, the Saudi Arabia for no, Esiano, Fabetre, we want to see it. Or for say, Ever to me, say to me, what about day? Or beyond kind of crack. And they put to me, what you to me in the other day. And you see, Nano Bobiansa, any year President Akufo-Addo Nebusu and Ibako, I think that was it where the warfare say, no on never could dim come. Then some free afnana no.
Abuja for native for any information about to and also say meet for Mahama news. So Yambo boys and something. So Edifa Mahama so defense become by Babi over Niema Koso Supreme Court and Niema Koso a year bekan a year Parliament Edifa a minority we decay vacant near the Adeno. Mahama Bekasao on any anti sema or the tuja. Owen na Mahama can say me about a crisis and Ghana for you. Economic or crisis in Nanso Baumia and already, or you can say moon up to now, Baumia, you turn a car our day on, you didn't want Tiasi because Bawamia buzumbi chaneka nanso Ghana for economic and chere ama bema kwa adane de oba chese omawari mo kwampune amanfa awari yugu because omudwin se eye mema no omumpa adwuma yeso omumpa adwuma omudi sika baba sika na de enso kane na o 50 series eni sika Kesi no yese no henry siri adane wan siri chese wodwene wan team fantade on team fantade bakokura mpunu wedi because akon yenkase na ne eye bema yeka no wansi masa wo tre krampo dia na asanas osade ho sabe ko school and say bema adane oba ampa just economic crisis no ku Ghana for about me so wante hwe yese choneka oyene campaign onim so no de ono anete so owie no kan se MPP ni NDC clashes omo ehia e health work e mambo bi na oso wadwene wa wonte ase ni kwanse sa niema ni tisisi because it didn't have a health work and a violent work. So then a man for you to a booby 9 year there Brahman for near that day. Video I just say Becca camera capture MPP near what you to I just saw the bo NDC in naya up to now. No, it's the omona power and yenches any pacrono. Information here what see at the Kwame Kanchimun. Ghana say I said the first face in near man for and Kurani dino. Very bad because oye oba tana se oye papa na oba ewo phrases ni mu bia okwo hnuani obodia wan hwa wase be fama wa ma oba na oye bola na ayede student information yakwatete se enya asemuto omane no adani butu fi se obia komayede also because I know be embassy na man for the 8 to kwande se enya asemuto nurses for any napo shia in some course no yebeka Kwame kan betutu judges na enya asemuto ebetimi ache ya adwen e comment such betimi so ahia ma odamfo so enya bi ahwe aha Alpha OneTV Akroma